Dear students, in this session we are going to discuss about JSON, the basics. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Let us see what JSON is, what are the features, what are the advantages of using JSON. Now we can see what JSON is for. JSON is actually used for data transferring. We know that uh, JavaScript is adding interactivity to our HTML web page. So if we are having a form data in our HTML web page and we are having some input controls, and if a user provides data towards the corresponding user input controls, this data should be validated. And the main purpose of JavaScript is used to add interactivity to the corresponding web page by providing some validation messages like that. So everything in the corresponding form or HTML page is in the format of JavaScript object. So while we are adding interactivity, the things should be converted to automatically converted to JavaScript objects. So whenever this particular form is submitted, this JavaScript data should be sent to the corresponding server. But the thing is that it is not easy to transfer the JavaScript object format towards the server. So we can do with it is we have to convert this Java object towards another notation that is termed by JavaScript object notation. And so that if we convert the JavaScript object to JSON object, then it can be easily transferred from client side to the server side. Likewise, if this particular web page is accessing some data from server side to client side, the server side always provides the corresponding data in the format of JSON notation. So in the client side, what we have to do is we have to convert the data from server JSON object to corresponding JavaScript notation. This JavaScript object notation is having functionality for converting JavaScript object to JSON object and from JSON object to corresponding JavaScript object. Now let us see what JSON is. It's a lightweight text-based data interchange format. So the main purpose of JSON is data interchange, and it is a lightweight text-based item, and it is completely language independent. Completely language independent means uh, it is not having a fixed language, but it is based on the subset of JavaScript programming language. But this particular object is created on the basis of JavaScript language, and it is easy to understand, manipulate and generate. Currently we are having a question, why use JSON? So why we are using JSON in our scripting? So we can see some of the reasons for using JSON. Straightforward syntax. In JSON, we are having a clear-cut syntax for doing each and everything. So it is very easy to do with JSON. That it is easy to create and manipulate. Since our syntax is very clear, we can easily create objects and we can easily manipulate the corresponding things. Can be natively passed in JavaScript using eval. So in JavaScript, we are having a function called eval. Eval function is used for evaluating the expression. Using this eval function, we can easily pass the JSON data. It is supported by all major JavaScript frameworks. So JavaScript object notation is supported by all the major JavaScript frameworks, and it is also supported by most of the backend technologies. So the reason for using JSON is that it is having a clear-cut syntax so that it is easy to create and manipulate, and we can easily pass the JSON code using JavaScript eval function, and this JSON is supported by all the major JavaScript frameworks and the backend technologies. So this JSON is much like XML. So it is having plain text formats, then self-describing and human readable content, and it is somewhat hierarchical. Values can contain list of objects or values. We already seen the CSS how we can write a property with the corresponding value. Likewise, the same format should be followed in JSON also. In the previous slide, we see that this JSON is much like XML, but it is not like XML. While we are considering this JSON with XML, JSON is lighter and faster than XML. The look for that JSON and XML are almost similar, but the thing is that if you are treating JSON or if you are making a comparative study with JSON and XML, JSON is lighter and faster than this XML. JSON uses type objects. All XML values are typeless strings and must be passed at runtime. But in case of JSON, all the things are treated as objects. If we are comparing JSON with XML, JSON is having less syntax and no semantics. While in XML we have to follow some syntax and semantics for writing contents in XML pages. But in case of JSON, we are having a little bit syntax to follow. Properties are immediately accessible to JavaScript code. The JSON properties can be easily as well as fastly accessible by the JavaScript. Now we can see what is a JSON object syntax. So JSON object syntax is an unordered set of name value pairs. So this object, we know that object is having multiple properties. So here also JSON object is having a set of unordered names as well as value pairs. So JSON object begins with a curly braces left brace and ends with curly braces right brace. Each name is followed by colon. So each property or each name in the corresponding JSON object is followed by a colon sign, and name value pairs are separated by commas. So the name should be followed by colon symbol followed by what should be the value for that particular name. And if you are specifying a name value pair, then it will be separated from other pairs by a comma. You can see an example. And this is a JSON example. Here variable employee data is equal to an opening bracket is there. Inside that you can see in double quotes. Double quotes indicates that the corresponding is a string data. So employee ID colon 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So this is the name of that corresponding property and this is the corresponding value. Then after writing the first property, a comma is there for separating it from the next. So next name is name itself and the value in it is Jeff Fox. Then comma is there. Then hire data colon, the date is specified, again comma, likewise. So here it means that employee data is a JSON object variable. Employee data is a JSON object variable which contains properties employee ID which contain value 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and name is another property with value Jeff Fox. Then hire date is another property with date value 1/1/2013, and location is another property with value Norwalk City, and consultant is another property with value false. So likewise we can create JSON objects. So we have to specify a variable followed by variable name is equal to, we have to start the curly braces. Inside the curly braces we have to specify what should be the property colon what should be the value. Put a comma, then you can specify the next rest of the property value pairs or name value pairs, and after writing all the pairs, the corresponding object should be closed by curly braces followed by semicolon. Let us see how we can create arrays in JSON. Array means it's an ordered collection of values, and arrays are begin with square bracket, square left bracket, and ends with square right bracket. Here also name value pairs are separated by commas. Let us see an example in array. So the same JSON object, the employee data, in addition to the previous data values, a new field is added, that is random nums. Like the name of the corresponding array is random nums, colon is there followed by the corresponding value. Here it is specified, the value is specified in square brackets. So this square brackets indicates that the corresponding name is an array. So here inside the square bracket we can see the values like 24, 65, 12, 94. So it mentions that this random nums is an array, and this random num should be belong to employee data JSON object. So likewise we can specify arrays towards a JSON objects. So random nums is an array which contain 4 values 24, 65, 12 and 94. Now we are having a code which the code indicates looping through an array. Inside the corresponding HTML code, we can see that the web page is belonging to document type HTML. Then inside the HTML tag, body tag is there. A paragraph is specified looping through an array using a for in loop. Then PID demo, this paragraph with ID value demo. There is nothing specified in the corresponding paragraph. After the corresponding paragraph with ID demo, script tag is opened. Inside the script tag, variable myobj I, x is equal to empty string. So here it indicates that three variables are created in JavaScript. myobj ix. The variables are myobj ix, and both of these three objects are having, all these three objects are having empty string value. Then after that, my obj is equal to name John. Name John. Then age 30, cars, Ford, BMW, Fiat. So here it mentions that my obj is equal to curly braces is open followed by name value pairs. So this indicates that this curly braces and the semicolon here and the syntax followed here indicates that my obj is a JSON object, JavaScript object notation, and this object is having three names: name, age, car with values John, 30, Ford, BMW, Fiat. So cars is an array. Cars is an array specified in my obj object. So after the corresponding declaration, for I in my obj.cars, x plus is equal to my obj.cars of I plus br. So after that a for in loop is there which is used for accessing the my object's cars data. My object is a JSON object, and inside the JSON object a name called cars is there which is an array. So this for loop is used for accessing the contents in my object's cars name. So here what happens is that data should be extracted using the for in loop, and each iteration the corresponding cars array value should be uh, retrieved, and it should be stored in a variable called x. So here what happens is in the first iteration cars of I means the first value Ford is extracted and it will be stored in x variable. X variable plus equal to means it should append the rest values. So initially it is having Ford value. In the second iteration it will retrieve, the code will retrieve the value BMW. So Ford, next line BMW. Then the third iteration it will extract Fiat from the corresponding array. So Ford is there, the next line BMW is there, and the third line Fiat is there. That will be in the X object. Then document.get element by id demo.inner HTML is equal to x. So after executing this, what happens is, after executing the for loop, so all the contents in the x will be placed as the content of paragraph id is equal to demo. So in this particular paragraph, we are having the data like this: Ford in the first line, BMW in the second line, and Fiat in the third line. Likewise, we can loop through a JSON object. JSON objects array. Now we can see the nested arrays in JSON object. We know what is a nested array. An array which should be placed in an array is termed as a nested array. Arrays are nested. Arrays can be nested. Values in an array can also be another array or even another JSON object. Here it specifies that array can be nested, at the same time JSON objects can be nested. Here we are having an example. Inside the example we can see that my obj is a variable which is equal to curly braces. So this curly braces indicates that the corresponding is a JSON object. Name John, age 30, cars is specified by square bracket. So the values in the cars is started with square bracket. So which indicates that the corresponding is a cars is a what? Cars is an array. Then after that again curly braces are open. Name Ford, models Fiesta, Focus, Mustang. So after the square bracket, again a curly braces is there. Again curly braces indicates that the first element of the cars array. First element of the cars array is again a JSON object. The first element of the array is again a JSON object where no particular name is specified, but the name value pairs are name Ford, and the second pair is an array models. Models is an array because the square bracket in the models value specifies that models is an array which contains values Fiesta, Focus, Mustang. Okay. Then after that, the square bracket is closed. So this models array is closed. Then curly braces is closed. Curly braces is called indicates that this particular object is over. Then a comma is there. Comma is there mean for the next value in the corresponding cars array. Now we have to look at the second object or second data in the cars array. Second data in the cars array is also an object because it is also started with curly bracket. Here also name DW. Models is another array which contains values 320, x3, x5. Again curly braces, square bracket is closed. This square bracket closing indicates that this model array is closed. Then curly braces is closed indicates that this object is closed, separated by commas. And the third element of the cars array. Third element also starts with curly braces. So here the third element of cars array is also an object. So here also we are having a name value with value Fiat and models an array with values 500 Panda. And after that the object is closed and the cars array is closed, and finally the object notation is also closed. So my obj, here it indicates that my obj is a JSON object which contains three name value pairs: name which contains value John, age which contains value 30, cars is an array value, and each element of the cars is having three elements, and each element of this cars is again another object, another JSON object. Here it indicates that first object is having the name Ford, and the second element of that particular object is models. Models is an array with values Fiesta, Focus, Mustang. The second element of cars array is another JSON object with name BMW, and models property which contains models property is an array which contains data values 320 x3 x1. The third element of cars array is another JSON object with name fiat and models where models is an array which contains values 500 and let us see the data type string in JSON. String means a sequence of 0 or more Unicode characters, and normally these strings are wrapped in double quotes, and backslash escapement is available in strings. Normal string category. Then another data type that can be followed by JSON objects are integer, real valued, scientific, and it should not follow octal or hexadecimal. It should not follow not a number or infinity. Instead of this type of representation, it will use null. It will use null value instead. Then the Boolean data type that should be followed by JSON objects are Boolean value true or false, and it's also take null value, a value that specifies nothing or no value. So the values taken by a JSON object are string values are possible, integer, real value, scientific values, and Boolean values are also possible, and in addition to that null value is there. Data types, objects and arrays. Objects means it contains unordered key value pairs wrapped in curly braces, and in case of arrays these are ordered key value pairs wrapped in square brackets. So object means it should be started with curly braces, and if we are starting an array it should start with square bracket. Now let us see how and when to use JSON. So this JSON object is used for transferring data to and from a server. If you want to transfer data from client to a server, we can use this JSON objects. And it should perform asynchronous data calls without requiring a page refresh. Without refreshing the corresponding web page, we can perform multiple data calls. Then it can be worked with data stores, compile and save form or user data for local storage. This JSON is used for compiling and saving the form as well as user data for keeping it in the local storage of the corresponding system. In this we can see an example how this JavaScript object should be converted to a JSON object and sent to the server. So this example code is used for sending data towards a server. Inside the corresponding code snippet, we can see that the corresponding is an HTML web page. Then comes the body. Body contains a header. Convert a JavaScript object into JSON string and send it to the server. So this is a header in the corresponding web page. Then after that script tag is opened. Variable my obj is equal to curly braces. So it indicates that the corresponding is a JavaScript object which contains property value pairs name John, age 31, city New York. So three properties are there for the my object name, age and city with corresponding values. Then after that variable my JSON is equal to JSON dot stringify of my obj. So here what happens is we are trying to convert the object properties to a JSON object. We are trying to convert the JavaScript object to JSON object using the function stringify. So what happens here it is all the things in the my obj should be converted in the format of a string object which is related to JSON, and that thing is stored in variable my JSON. Then the next statement is window.location is equal to demo underscore json.php g is equal to plus my JSON. So here what happens is what should be the target page? What should be the target server page for this data transfer? That location is specified. Window.location is equal to this is the target page and we are trying to pass the my JSON variable towards that particular demo json.php page by appending it with the string g is equal to plus my JSON. So my JSON is having all the data related to my obj in JavaScript. So likewise we can transfer or we can convert like this format. We can convert a JavaScript stringify. We can convert the JavaScript object to JSON object, and we can transfer this JSON object directly towards a page in the corresponding web server. This is about sending data using JSON in JavaScript. Now we can see how we can receive data. If you receive data in JSON format, you can convert it into JavaScript object. So we can receive data from server towards the client, and if the received data is in JSON format, we can convert it into JavaScript object. Here there is an example how we can convert this JSON format to JavaScript object format. Inside the code, you can see that an HTML tag is there. Then comes the body tag, which contains a header. Convert a string written in JSON format into a JavaScript object. So here the conversion is happened on JSON format towards JavaScript object. Then after that, a paragraph with ID demo is there. Then comes the script tag. Inside the script tag, you can see that variable myJSON is equal to name, John, age 31, city, New York with semicolon. So this statement indicates that my JSON is a particular JSON object. My JSON is a JSON object with name value pairs, name, age and city with values John, 31 and New York respectively. So what we are trying to do is this JSON object should be converted in the format of JavaScript object. So for doing that, variable my obj is equal to json.parse of my JSON. So in this particular statement, what happens is parse of my JSON. We are using the parse function to convert the data inside my JSON variable to my obj. So if you are using json.parse, if you are using json.parse method, what happens here it is the what is the object that we placed as argument towards the parse method, that object should be converted to JavaScript object. So what all things in the corresponding object, they should be converted as the property value pairs of JavaScript object. So my JSON is an JSON object which contains uh, property value pairs like name, age, city, and that should be converted to my obj JavaScript object using this particular expression. Using this statement, this my JSON should be converted to my obj. My obj is a JavaScript object. Then after that, document.getElementById by id of demo.innerHTML is equal to my obj.name. So what happens here it is in the corresponding paragraph with id demo, it should display my obj.name. So what all things in my JSON object should be converted to the JavaScript object my obj. Inside the my obj, we are having the name as John. So this particular paragraph displays John. Likewise, we can convert a JSON object to a JavaScript object. So this is the method for JSON.parse is the method for converting JSON object to JavaScript object. In the previous slide, we discussed about how we can send data from uh, client to server, and for sending the data we are using we are going to convert. In the previous slide we discussed sending data, and in case of sending data we are trying to convert a JavaScript object to JSON format for easy transmission. And for doing that uh, conversion from JavaScript to JSON, it should be done by a command called json.stringify. Stringify function will convert this JavaScript object to JSON format. And for receiving the data is in the form of JSON format, and we have to convert this JSON format to JavaScript object. For that particular conversion, we are using the function JSON.parse function. So JSON.parse function converts the corresponding JSON object to JavaScript object. Now we can see how we can store data, storing data. So when storing data, the data has to be a certain format, and regardless of where you choose to store it, and text is always one of the legal formats. JSON makes it possible to store JavaScript objects as text. So in JSON, we should try to store the JavaScript object in the format of string, and let us see how the data is stored in JSON. Here we are having a code snippet. The corresponding mentions that it's a HTML page which contains the body tag. Body contains a header value, store and retrieve data from local storage, which contains a paragraph. Paragraph ID is equal to demo, which contains null data. Then after that, the script tag is closed. Inside the script tag, inside the script tag is opened. Inside the script tag, variables are declared like my object, my JSON, text obj. So four variables are created: my obj, my JSON, text obj. And all these variables are having null values. Then my obj is equal to name John, age 81, city New York. So my obj is initiated with a JavaScript object by specifying properties like name, age, and city with values John, 81, and New York respectively. So this curly braces indicates that my obj is an object in the JavaScript. Then after that, my JSON is equal to JSON.stringify of my obj. We already discussed about JSON.stringify function. JSON.stringify function is used to convert JavaScript object to JSON object. So here what happens is this my obj should be converted to a JSON object, and that JSON object name is my JSON. Then local storage dot set item of test JSON, comma my JSON. So in the local storage of our machine, it should set the item as set this my JSON object by the name test JSON. So test JSON which contains the my JSON objects data. So this thing should be stored in the local storage. And in order to retrieve the data from the corresponding local storage, we have to access the corresponding local storage with the name test.json. So that is the next step. Text is equal to local storage dot get item of test.json. Actually, test.json is having the data of my JSON object. So using the get item function mentioned with local storage, we are trying to access the test JSON item from the local storage. Access the data from text JSON object, and that data is stored in a variable called text. Then after that, obj is equal to JSON.parse of text. Actually, this text is containing the data which is stored in my JSON. So my JSON is a JSON object. Automatically this text is having JSON data. So what we have to do is we have to parse the corresponding, or we have to convert this JSON object to JavaScript object. For doing that, we are having a method called JSON.parse. So here in the next step, obj is equal to JSON.parse of text. So what happens here is the JSON we convert and finally, document.getElementById demo.inner.html is equal to obj.int. So here what happens is obj is containing the JavaScript object which is corresponding to the JSON object myJSON. So it should access using the obj. It should access the value 8 name. 81 should be displayed in the corresponding paragraph with ID demo. So far we discussed about how we can send data to a server, how we receive data, and at the same time how we can store data in the form of JSON. Hope you understood the different functions which are related to JSON.